G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome to my dodgy bloody workshop where you just watching me doing stuff. This is not a tutorial for those of you that may be new here. Right, so if you're following, brake pads have turned up, bloody ripper. So we're gonna whack those in. I've already bloody got it ready to go. Now we've also talking about this over here. So as you guys know, I have the problem when I put this thing up on the jack and I want to get access to this or use this wheel or take it off or whatever. It's bloody jammed in here. So we figured out that I could take these top nuts off and then that just comes back and frees this up, which is brilliant. So I asked the question on the old bloody community tab here on YouTube. What do you think I should do just to make that job quicker? Because I've got to have two spanners to undo that. It's just a simple bolt and a nut. And it was interesting because I was thinking that was bloody aluminium. It wasn't until someone said weld it on, and it made me get up and grab my bloody magnet, and I touched on it and I went, shit, this is steel, not aluminium. I can weld it. But then someone else mentioned, or quite a few people mentioned, I think, riv nut. So I put a little poll up here saying weld the nut or use a riv nut. And we've got 32% for the weld nut and 68% for the riv nut. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to riv nut it. But I'll do that in probably the next video, just getting that done and all up and working. So thank you very much for all that. I think we had 94 votes. And yeah, there you go. Righto, let's bloody get into this stuff. So there we go, that's the old ones, that's the new ones. So interestingly, I've got to remember that the front ones actually have a wear indicator, but the new rear ones don't have a wear indicator. So there's the difference there. I mean, these front ones aren't too bloody bad. I mean, when you look at it like that, hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, I mean, I think there's still plenty on that, looking at it like that. But anyway, there you go. Right, so obviously they've got to go together like that. Oh, now I do have to put a little bit of grease on these. Now that brings me to, so I've got this bloody copper anti-seize stuff, and in the last video I was putting it on the threads and all that kind of stuff. Someone said that the copper anti-grease is no good for aluminium and the calipers are aluminium. So if you want to use anti-seize on any of these, you know, bolts with threads and stuff like that, do not use copper because apparently it can do some corrosion with the aluminium. So you've got to get a grease that is safe for aluminium, and then you won't have the problem. Now, this bike is, what, 17 years old, and it's never had any anti-corrosion stuff on the calipers or the pins or the bolts holding them on or anything like that. So I'm just going to go, no, I'm not putting any bloody grease on. It's ran fine for that amount of time, so that's what I'm doing. The only place that I'm going to put the grease, even on the pins, I talked about putting a smothering over that. I'm not doing that because that just attracts dust. The only place I've put regular grease is just a light amount on these sliding pins. There's 2 on that one, I think. Yep, 2 on that one, and then same deal on this one. There's some down in there. Slight bit of just waterproof grease. And then what I'll do is, so you see those 2 pistons, they're going to touch on one of these. So I'll put just a slight bit of grease on there. And that's metal there, and those pistons are metal, so that's not a problem, and it's not a thread either, so that's no biggie. That's what I'm doing. Let's do it. Oh my lord, guys. Am I thinking, why won't that screw in? Doing it in the bloody wrong way. That's why I say, dodgy bloody workshop. There we go. Just snug that up. Beautiful. They're in there. Put in our little cover screw. Right, okay, so they're in. I've pushed that back. I've got plenty of bloody gap there. This is easy as. Fit it in between and up there, and that one there. All right. So, what have I learnt in doing this? After so many years, I can't believe what I've learnt is that when I'm going to change these brake pads, I take the caliper off, I clean all the caliper, assess everything in there, you know, clean all the crud out, and then put them back in. Don't try and do it so that, you know, just trying to bloody drop them out and all that kind of shit. It's just much easier this way, and cleaning all that stuff up is obviously beneficial. Righto, on to the back. Obviously I've got to put the rear weir back on, and then I can start checking how the brakes work. There's the rear brake, and clearly the rear brake, yeah, there's a lot more meat on the rear one, but yeah, that's, yeah, crap. Righto, bit of grease on the back end. Right, so now I've also learnt too from you guys that all these little bloody little clip-in things on the front and the back, it basically stops. It's there to stop the stop these from rattling around. Is all they do. Right. So now, where's me 2 pins are there? So that's got to go. Shoot. How's that got to go? Put them together. Keep the grease away from everything. It's just got a slot, hopefully you guys can see. Slot in there like that. Oh, there you go, like that, I suppose. And then that should make room for these 2 pins to go up and through. Maybe I'll put the back one in first. So when I'm like that, we'll go on that one first. Let's get... Aha! Right, that might have been a better idea. So that's going in. And then that. So there. Oh, right, okay, I got it. I understand now. Like I was saying about that metal thing in the back there, it stops them from rattling. So what you've got to do is you've got to push down, because I can feel it pushing on that clip. It's like a spring loaded. So yeah, actually you can't just sit them in there. You've got to push down for it to then be in the right spot. Brilliant. Okay, cool, got it. I'll forget this next time I go to do it, but hey. All right. Give that a tighten up. And a tighten up. Brilliant. So they're all wiggly woggly, but they're not going to fall out. We'll just move that back. And I'll get my screwdriver. I'll just separate these, and obviously there's no pressure in here, so I'm not going to bloody put holes in it like I did when I was doing the other ones. So that should be plenty. So now I should be able to just slide that back on there. Something like that, and then hopefully I get this back wheel in without too much trouble. There we have it, some new bloody pads. The wheel should slot in that okay. Oh, right guys, man, this has been a job and a half. Oh, trying to get this friggin' wheel in, just getting done it the right bloody way. I don't remember it being this hard. Oh, oh. Right, if we turn the bloody wheel straight, it should get us pretty close. Whew. Nice. Right. I reckon it might have been on 3. We'll check all that. Right on it. Right, I think that should be about it. Let's double check that chain. I'll check it when it drops down on the ground, but that should be pretty good. So, let's just check this brake. Cool. Functioning like they should. Nice. Alright, I've got to tell you guys, man, that was hard work. And I don't know how many times I've taken that on and off. I don't know whether being up on here, having this set up instead of being down on the ground and doing it that way, that it just seemed harder. Yeah. Or I'm just getting old. Right, yeah, I got this bloody front up. Definitely can't wait to get that thing done. So it makes it a lot simpler. Boom. Braking. That feels good now. Nice and smooth. Yeah. Excellent. So I still don't know 100% what was going on. Given that the pad still had enough on it. Yeah, I don't know. But obviously cleaning everything up, maybe it was just clagged up. Maybe that's the problem. And that's why you should clean your calipers when you change your brake pads. Clean your calipers. Brilliant. Alright, I'm happy with that. Cool. Well, there you go, guys. So that is a job done. Mark has replaced the pads on the front and the rear of Max the DR650. I got there in the end. I learnt some new things along the way. Hopefully you guys did too. Maybe what not to bloody do. So there you go. Alright, so in the next video what I'll do is I want to just get straight onto the upgrade of the motorcycle lift, the wheel chock thing. So I'll get that done in the next bloody video. That's a quick job. And then of course I've got to do that front leaking shock. I've got a wedding bloody coming up this weekend, and then the next weekend we've got the Teddington hut. So I've got to have Max all up and running for that camp weekend with the guys. I think we're up to 11, I think 11 riders so far. Yeah, so there you go. Righto guys, remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.